Welcome to Freedom to Fuel, the 5-minute talk show that will energize how you think about your utilities. Brought to you by Huntsville Utilities and the American Public Gas Association. Coming to you this week from the St. Croix Room of the Minneapolis City Center Marriott. I'm Todd Long with the Huntsville Utilities Orchestra, introducing your host, the Colonel, John Olszewski.
Well, once again, thanks, Todd.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Went out and grabbed Rich Worsinger, former chairman of the American Public Gas. Somebody that's one of the reasons I'm sitting here today, because he voted for me. And I appreciate that, because I'm not sure I've been as excited about anything as when I took over Redstone Arsenal back in 2005, and it means that much to me. So with that, Rich, I'd love you to just give us a few seconds on where you're at, what you're doing, a little bit about your history, and then I'll ask you some questions.
Great. Thank you, John. Todd, good to see you again. Appreciate you inviting me here. Rich Worsinger. I am the director of Wilson Energy. That is the city of Wilson, North Carolina's municipal electric and gas system. And I think just like you, John, it's important to point out we represent both electric and gas, and we want to make sure our customers have the choice to choose what's best for them, not to have it dictated by government regulations. And it's funny, as I see your theme, Freedom to Fuel, I was chairman back in 2015, 2016, and my theme was the fuel of freedom. Wow. And the same challenges we're fighting today, we were fighting back 7 years ago, that there are those that want to take that freedom away from our customers to choose what is the best fuel.
Wow. That is, and you know, we saw each other earlier and I brought it up. And I thought you were pulling my leg, to be honest with you. And he didn't pull my leg. It really was serious. That. And 7 years later, you know, I asked Dave Schreiber here a few minutes ago to talk about the furnace rule. We were fussing about the furnace rule.
Here we are. It's furnace rule, second time. Back, you know, the Department of Energy, back a number of years ago, I don't remember the exact year, but they brought forth this direct and final rule that was going to require our customers to use a certain type of furnace, which would have been very expensive for our customers to not only replace the furnace and put that in, but retrofit their venting systems. That's their chimneys. And so what would have happened, they would have had to done this very quickly. They would have simply converted to electricity to heat their homes, which is less efficient, more expensive, et cetera, et cetera. We need to let our people have the choice, give them the freedom to fuel their homes the way that they want to. And it's funny because in new construction, they are picking those more expensive condensing furnaces. But in the older existing homes, it just does not make financial sense for them to do that.
That's a double tap. That's exactly what Dave said. You know, I was telling Dave when he was here, I said there's like I said 6, but now I'm thinking there's more like a dozen of you out there right now that can really tell this story on furnace rule.
Well, John, I always use my parents as an example. I'm from Philadelphia. That's why I've got the Eagles shirt on here.
We got Joe
Go Birds.
coming in. Go Skins.
So
Commanders.
I think of the house I grew up in, and twin home in Philadelphia, modest home, but had a masonry chimney. For my parents to convert from an 80% efficiency natural gas heater to a 96%, they couldn't vent out the side because they'd be going into somebody else's home, or they would be going out into the walkway next to their home. They'd have to retrofit that chimney going up, and it would have been thousands of dollars. It just does not make economic sense.
So we had one of our guests that talked a little politics today, and it's okay. I mean, that's another thing. It's freedom. Disagreement doesn't equal disrespect.
Absolutely.
And so to that point, it just amazes me who's getting to who to tell them what we just said, because it makes so common sense, but yet we want to force it on people.
Well, and unfortunately, our words are not getting heard. Our message is not getting heard. Those that are coming in and they will talk about saving the planet, and fossil fuel is bad. Natural gas, when it's used directly to heat your home, is more efficient than using electricity, especially when that electricity is generated by natural gas.
And the best part about this, as you stated, and you're not the first one to state this, your company is electric and gas.
Yes,
and ours is electric, gas, and water.
Yes.
And somebody else was on here too that was the same way. So it's not like you're not saying all natural gas.
No, I am not.
You're not.
And I'm not saying electrification either.
Exactly.
I am saying let our citizens, let our customers have the freedom to choose what makes best sense for them in each of their individual circumstances.
So I when I was thinking about this, praying about this, and trying to determine just what I wanted to do with this, it's really kind of cool to have a full spectrum here of people talking. We also talked about PHMSA. We also talked about us writing the grants right now. Yes. And you're coming in on the 25th, and people are writing them up, and we're one of the companies. Are you?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, too? We are.
So you're feeling. Erin's supposedly doing it really well. She's running it weekly.
Yes, she is. And, this is PHMSA's first foray into this, and they're learning as they go. We're Wilson Energy. We're applying for about $3 million to replace some bolt-on service tees that we have on our system. We've been replacing them on our dime, but having this grant will certainly save our customers, our citizens, from having to finance that. And that's the whole purpose of that grant.
And then as a municipality, when you are saved there, that money's allowed to go somewhere else, which is goodness for your outfit.
That's right.
And that's the part that because we're not for profit, we are allowed to use the dollars that we save somewhere to go be put it back in a better investment somewhere else in the company. In our space, we're growing so much, we're able to spend $9 million to get to the new Toyota Mazda plant, where that $9 million came from the savings we've done on other things that helped us do that.
Well, and we're in eastern North Carolina, which is economically challenged. For us to be able to take $3 million from the federal government to replace these tees instead of out of the pocketbooks of our citizens, that's huge. Because these are people, John, that they struggle each month to decide, do I pay my utility bill? Do I pay my rent? Do I pay for my prescription drugs? So this is a big help. And I really appreciate PHMSA for this too, because in the past, PHMSA would go after tax incentive, tax breaks. That does not help us that are in the public sector.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Rich, we thank you. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you, John. Appreciate the opportunity. And best of luck, Mr. Chairman, incoming Chairman.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Freedom to Fuel is produced by Huntsville Utilities in cooperation with the American Public Gas Association, and the views expressed by the host and guests do not necessarily reflect those of HU or the APGA. Our AV engineers, Amanda Thompson-Kemp, with assistance from Chad the intern, and additional production elements provided by Jeffrey Long. If you have a comment or question, post it in the comments below. Any broadcast, retransmission, or account of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is prohibited.